played in a board game, as we can see figures of certain DDD monsters being played in.
Hmm. Wonder if it works. Wonder if it's working.
As we can see figures of certain DDD monsters.
Well, it does work. Let's go. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, everyone. Hmm. Hang on. We're doing some battlegrounds because for my hunter I need him to gear it up in honor. So yeah. Boom, they're dead. I don't know. I don't know if that's the whole combo. So I don't know what's the full combo for the hunters. So okay, we're just gonna do we're just gonna do this stuff.
In a D&D like game, or are they
Damn, maybe let me swap it. Let me swap microphones.
Okay. See, I don't know if it's better or not. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know, honestly. Okay, I'm trying to get the full honor gear. I get full honor gear on this one. I have this bow. I actually wonder, like, what are some cool bows that I can get? Also, this is taking way too long, which is surprising. Bows. Let's see. The Unchained Gladiator bow. Tempest Arc. That looks cool, not gonna lie. Actually, does look pretty cool. You got it at the beginning. Damn, I wish I had Voodoo Hunter bow as a quest. Karazhan? Do you get this thing in Karazhan? God damn! Oh, this is bugged. I don't think it should work like that. I don't think it should work like that, honestly. Oh yeah, this one. L'Oreal Starcaller. Vengeful Gladiator. Purple Gladiator. Evil. Furious. Deadly. Atlas. Oh, this is the bow for. Okay. Another version of that. That's cool. That's cool. This is the Ruthless Gladiator bow. Hmm. All the bows are cool, and some of them are just like they're nice. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I always think bows look silly. Like, I think for me the coolest bow has to be the black bow. The black bow of the Betrayer is the coolest, or this thing, the golden bow. I don't know. Like, I always think bows are stupid. I think with like guns are also odd. Okay, this is just goofy. Like, this massive motherfucker. Crossbows. Actually, I thought of crossbows. I have a few good ones. But, Legion Killer. Azure Thule crossbow smoothing. And you got the Legion artifact ones. There's Talon Claw. There's the Thessador Legacy of the Windrunner, and then of course there's Titan Striker. There's a giant just barrel gun for BM Hunter. I don't know. Maybe it's just me that I'm just not a huge fan of bows or like any ranged weapons. Also, I don't know why this is taking too long. Why is it taking so fucking long, dude? Dude, I just want to play some PvP. I want to play some Battlegrounds. The basic shit. Is it dead now? Fuck. If it is dead, I'm kind of sad. I'm sad if it's actually dead. Excuse me. Oh, there we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's get this easy victory.
So anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is, some of the guys thought we should get a divorce. What? But I told them they didn't know what they were talking about.
Good, good. Because if you ever left me, I'd have to cut myself. And then I'd cut you. I love you, Glenn.
I love you too, insane woman I'm having second thoughts about.
What?
Oh, right. So anyway, what I'm trying to My dad is yours.
Smart move from child, baby.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, moving to Kansas City.
Kansas?
Yeah, got a sexy little simian waiting for me at the zoo there.
Simeon?
Yeah, like Monkey. You might know her, actually. This super old female with a white patch of fur right above her hot chimp ass.
Mama?
Oh, is that your mom? I didn't catch her name last time I was there. Hard to hear her while she was gagging on my banana.
Banana?
So dumb.
Look like penis?
Mm-hmm.
Banana mean son penis?
Uh-huh.
So fucking stupid. So fucking stupid.
Industry faces a liquidity crunch.
The collapse of Celsius came as a huge surprise to anyone listening to Alex Mashinsky. All the way up to shutting down, he had claimed that Celsius had billions of dollars in liquidity, just ready for withdrawals.
We have billions of dollars in liquidity. So anyone who wants to withdraw, that's a service. You can withdraw at any time.
So what happened? If that was true, why did it fall apart? Well, the picture wasn't clear at the time. We heard allegations from people like Dirty Bubble Media that Alex Mashinsky was selling his own tokens. We also found out that Alex withdrew money off of Celsius before it shut down. But at this point, we didn't fully understand why Celsius had collapsed. Was it just incompetence or greed? These were open questions until a few weeks ago, because that's when the court-appointed examiner released her 600-page report detailing exactly what happened with Celsius. In this massive report, the examiner details not only systemic lying, a Ponzi-like scheme, but also tells us what I think constitutes fraud. Here's a breakdown of the report, starting with the biggest lie of all: the interest you'd get on depositing your crypto. You see, for years, Celsius had been telling people they paid what they did because it was 80% of their profits they were earning from all these loans.
And we're very proud as well to pay out over 80% of our revenues directly back to the community. And so this is something that we are going to continue to do. And we look very carefully at all of our numbers on both sides to make sure that we are doing that. And that's also what is helping us decide the rates every single week that we're paying out on coins.
But this was a lie. According to the report, Celsius did not distribute up to 80% of its revenues to its customers because it had little to no profits to even distribute. Celsius also made no efforts to set its reward rates based on its yield. And look, I know what you're thinking. If they didn't set the rewards based on what they actually were making as a company, what did they set them based on? Well, on getting more customers. And according to the report, Celsius consistently set its reward rates based on what they perceived was necessary to beat the competition. And for most of Celsius's existence, the rewards it paid exceeded by substantial amounts the revenues Celsius could earn. So for those of you following along, the whole idea that we're paying 80% of what we make was a total fabrication. Celsius just wanted more customers, which, as you might imagine, works when you're bringing on more assets with new users than you're paying in interest. But eventually, when you have billions of dollars in assets, you have to pay rewards based on that. And the Celsius team realized they had a problem. But even as some within Celsius management attempted to lower reward rates, Mashinsky, quote, overrode their recommendations and refused to do so. One example of this was when Jason Perman, a Celsius executive, recalled Mashinsky saying that Celsius could not cut its reward rates because of his belief that our customers will leave us, and that, quote, our investors didn't invest in us to shrink, they invested in us to double. So with this new understanding that they weren't going to be able to lower reward rates, they realized they were stuck with the other strategy, trying to raise what they were able to make with their assets by employing riskier investment strategies to try to get closer to profitability. And guess what? They lied about this too. Even as the company started to make riskier investments, like offering unsecured loans, Mashinsky told people the opposite. He said everything was business as usual.
Celsius is very, very strict at who we lend to, right? So we only lend to the first tier institutions, first tier exchanges. We do not do all kind of unsecured lending like a lot of people are talking about or saying Celsius does unsecured. We do not do unsecured lending.
But of course, this wasn't true. Celsius internally had been
Ouch,
talking
I didn't even
about
notice
the
the
number
fact.
of unsecured loans they were giving out increasing, shown here in orange. And internally on Slack, executives were furious. Quote, I just told him that the number is increasing and the overall ratio of collateral with institutions is going down. Another executive responded, yes, so why does he publish so dangerous statements? Everyone out there, if you have an unsecured loan, tell everyone that I'm a liar. But in the end, no one did call him a liar, even as he literally asked for it.
Here, I'm calling on anyone who received an unsecured loan, go on
Oh, the
Twitter,
healer's there.
make fun out of Alex Mashinsky. Say, hey, I took a loan, here's my loan number. You know, I took a loan from Celsius and then I did not have to provide at least 200% collateral.
And through the next year, Mashinsky continued to boast about how safe Celsius was, even as the team began to engage in riskier behavior. In the same year, Celsius would recognize $800 million in losses from some of these investments. Mashinsky told the Financial Times in June 2021 this.
From a risk standpoint, we are probably one of the least risky businesses that regulators worldwide have ever seen.
Around the time he was saying this,
Fuck.
Celsius was over $500 million underwater on their liabilities, as shown by the black line, which represents a net surplus. By the end of the year 2021, Celsius would owe $1 billion that they did not have. Things were looking bad.
Wait a minute. I thought you said this was a fraud.
It is a fraud.
Maybe to you, Coffee. There's another way of looking at this.
What do you mean?
Well, imagine I'm defending Celsius as a lawyer.
You're a mixologist and a lawyer?
Hey, I could pass the bar if I wanted to. I already work at one. But anyways, what I would say if you were coming at my client is, look, all this lying and losing money, standard fake it till you make it stuff. They could have become profitable eventually. Now, did they fail? Yes. But trying a business and failing, that's the American dream, Coffee.
Do you actually believe that?
Ouch.
Doesn't matter what I believe. If a single person on that jury was an entrepreneur, Alex would walk.
Well, either way, your hypothetical doesn't even matter. Mashinsky isn't even being criminally charged.
Wait, really? Well, I rest my case then.
Yeah, nice try. But it's not that simple. They're still suing him for some of the money. He's just not being criminally charged.
And let me guess, you don't think that's enough?
No, I don't think it's enough. I mean, it's a slap on the wrist. It's a financial speeding ticket for a guy who ruined so many people's lives.
But that's my point, Coffee. If you think it's so wrong, you gotta give me more than this.
But how? You said it yourself. They're just going to claim incompetence. They faked it till they didn't make it.
Ah, but that's because the evidence so far is lies and incompetence. You need to show a definitive step across that line. That's the only way people are gonna believe you. Well, that and...
What?
Well, this might be ironic coming from me, but it wouldn't hurt to humanize the story a bit. Don't get stuck in the technical jargon. Nobody can follow that. Make me feel something.
As much as it pains me to say this, I think you might be right. Let me see what I can do.
What does that money mean to me? It means a lot, actually. I've been working since I was 14.
I was investing this my first couple of jobs out of college. Ultimately stopped us from buying a house.
because I mean it was half of our down payment was locked, and you know I couldn't get it. So I mean it was a big impact actually.
Honestly, that loss was a culmination of many years of work. To be quite frank, I saw it as my way to escape.
What that money means to me, it's a lot more freedom with what we're able to do as a family.
To describe what the money I lost meant to me is really hard because it's tied into a lot of what it feels like to be a grown-up or an adult. I feel like I have this stunted development. You know, I'm almost 40 at this point, and I'm very aware as a stunt man that wants to be physical. If we have a kid last year like we wanted, all right, maybe by the time he's 20, I could show him some stuff. But the longer we wait, the more I watch my dreams and my future and my hope to be like a proper functioning adult slip through my fingers. It's hard to describe what that's tied into, but it just feels like I can't proceed with life. That makes sense.
That does make sense. And hearing these stories made me realize just showing lies isn't enough. If I'm going to demonstrate fraud, I need to get to the heart of Celsius. And that's when I found out about the flywheel. The flywheel was central to Celsius's plan to become profitable, and here's how it worked. Celsius was not just a crypto platform. They also had a crypto token called Cell, and they controlled the vast majority of it, up to 95%. So
Boy,
if the
crypto
price
tokens.
of Cell went up, theoretically the balance sheet of Celsius would also go up, and they could sustain these insane reward rates. However, in order to do so, they needed people to actually want Cell tokens. So the flywheel was Mashinsky's plan to do that, to create a positive feedback loop. And the way they did this was set up Cell token like a rewards program, where you could earn bonus interest if you held a certain amount of Cell, which obviously incentivizes people who wanted to get the most out of their accounts to buy and hold these Cell tokens. On their website, they described this process as a self-sustaining ecosystem, where users would buy Cell, earn more yield, get more crypto, collect interest, earn more yield, lend more coins, collect more interest, and buy more Cell tokens. Now, of course, you might notice a problem here. What if people actually go to sell their Cell tokens? Wouldn't that crash the price? Well, Mashinsky had an answer for this too. He told the community that Celsius would buy Cell tokens in order to pay their rewards, theoretically creating demand out of thin air. Here's him explaining this.
Basically, more visitors usually translates to more app downloads, and that translates to more deposits. More deposit allows us to do more loans. More loans generate more income, and more income means more income that Celsius generates from these coins that people gave us, translates into us having to buy more Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cell token, and so on.
So, okay, that's the flywheel. Why does it matter? Well, the flywheel and this Cell token became the place where all sorts of shenanigans happened with Celsius, because while the community was aware that they were buying back Cell to pay rewards, what they didn't know was that Celsius was using customer funds to do so, to buy their own coin. What they imagined they were doing was that they were using all this profit they were theoretically generating from making these loans to buy their own token, but that wasn't the case. This was because, as we said earlier, Celsius wasn't really profitable at all. So the only money they had to buy Cell token was their own customers' money. But it gets even worse, because starting in 2020, Celsius decided to substantially expand its purchases of Cell for the purpose of increasing Cell's price. Instead of buying Cell when it needed to pay rewards, Celsius began timing its purchases so that they would prop up Cell's price by creating activity in the market. Now, of course, the question is here, why would Celsius go beyond its mandate to purchase more Cell than necessary and artificially boost the price? Well, perhaps it has something to do with the top holder of Celsius being Mashinsky and his executives. And this was the only way they could sell some of these tokens without crashing the price. According to the investigation, quote, between 2018 and June 2022, Mr. Mashinsky sold at least 25 million Cell tokens, realizing at least $68.7 million on these sales. Daniel Leon, also a founder of Celsius, sold at least 2.6
That isn't what I wanted. No.
for at least $9.74 million as well. That's a cash out of over $70 million, while Celsius was buying these sales to prevent the price from going down. Quote, Celsius often increased the size of its resting orders to buy all of the Cell that Mr. Mashinsky and his other companies were selling. The former chief financial officer would write, we are talking about becoming a regulated entity, and we are doing something possibly illegal and definitely not compliant. Some employees, of course, were even more direct. Quote, If anyone found out about our position and how much our founders took in USD, could be a very bad look. We are using users' USDC to pay for employees' worthless sell. And even worse, in 2022, their coin deployment specialist described their practices of buying up sell and using customer coins as very Ponzi-like. And a few weeks later, when this person was asked where money was coming from to buy sell, this person would say, users like always. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the core story. Not merely lying, it's a story of using customer funds to buy out your executives and manipulate your own cryptocurrency so you can sell for a higher price. In fact, Celsius's own purchases of their own tokens were such a large component of the market that overlaying the price of Celsius with the amount that Celsius was buying results in a near perfect match of the price change. And ultimately what this meant for the end user is that the money they thought were being used for safe loans or for generating yield were actually squandered on this flywheel mechanism.
10 debts.
And the result
Jesus
was
Christ.
that Celsius just didn't have the money to pay
Whoa!
customers back.
Fuck.
And what's so wild about this is that Celsius didn't even need to buy their own Cell token in the first place. They